An important part of providing information about sustainability-related risks and opportunities in accordance with S1 and S2 is the question of measurement uncertainty. Now, before I talk about what S1 says about this, it's important to note that this isn't unique to sustainability reporting. Estimation is also a factor in providing information in accordance with accounting standards and in financial statements, but it is a particular feature of sustainability reporting. Partly because of information about that's arising in the value chain that may not be directly available to an entity, but also because often we're asking for forward-looking information, so estimation is really necessary. Because of this, S1 sets out guidance on measurement uncertainty and provides for disclosures to help investors to understand sources of measurement uncertainty and also to understand the assumptions and estimates that a company has made, so that when investors look at that information, they are aware that it is subject to uncertainty and they're able to understand the assumptions. This facilitates comparisons being made between entities who may have used different assumptions. Another important part of the requirements in S1 is then dealing with changes in measurements where estimation has been involved and what to do in the case of errors. So there is specific guidance in S1 about dealing with prior period errors, and that relies very much on the same concepts used in the preparation of financial statements. So if an entity is made aware of a prior period error, then they should restate comparative information to the extent that that is practicable. There's a difference in S1 between the way that an entity needs to deal with prior period errors and other changes in estimate or revisions in the metrics that are provided by a company. So a prior period error is specifically defined in S1 using the same notion that's used in IFRS accounting standards, so it's a misstatement or an omission from prior period information. Where that occurs, and it's only identified in a later period, an entity is required to identify what the prior period error was and to restate comparative information unless that is impracticable. In the case of an update in estimate or a change in estimates, then an entity is required to restate that information if that is not impracticable. So that's different actually to the accounting requirements for changes in estimates. So it's an important difference for those accountants out there to be aware of when they use S1. And another important thing to note is that that only applies to estimates that are not forward-looking. In the case of forward-looking estimates, then a change in estimate is not required to be updated in comparative information. So a little bit of a technical point there, but an important one to watch out for, because typically what we've done in S1 is wherever we can, we've used the same concepts as in the IFRS accounting standards. But in this area of estimates, because of the importance of trend information, there are slight differences in nuance, which is why I'm highlighting them for you today.